Death is one of the greatest mysteries of human existence, a question that has echoed through the ages. Almost every single one of us, at some point, has looked up at the stars and wondered, what happens the moment life ends? What is on the other side? Does our soul immediately go to heaven or hell? Is there awareness after we die, or is it just nothing? These are profound questions, and thankfully, the Bible gives us answers if we are willing to read carefully and listen with an open heart. So, let's explore together what Scripture reveals about that very moment. According to Scripture, death is not the end of existence. It's a separation, a transition. In the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter 12, verse 7, we read that when a person dies, the dust returns to the earth as it was, and the spirit returns to God who gave it. This verse is incredibly clear. It shows a fundamental separation between our physical body and our spirit, or soul. Our bodies, made from the elements of the earth, will decay and go back to the dust. But our spirit, the very essence of who we are, the part of us made in God's image, returns to its Creator. This isn't annihilation, it's a homecoming of the spirit. The Bible consistently treats the body and spirit as distinct parts of our being. Think of it like a glove and a hand. The glove is the body. The hand is the spirit. When you take your hand out of the glove is empty, but your hand, the living part, still exists. In the same way, when our spirit leaves our body, the body is lifeless, but the spirit continues on. This concept is foundational to understanding what happens next. It's not about the end of life, but the end of life as we know it in this physical world. Jesus himself gives us one of the most important insights into this topic in Luke chapter 16. He tells the story of two men, a rich man who lived in luxury and a poor beggar named Lazarus. Both of them die. Now, pay close attention to what happens next. The story doesn't say they ceased to exist. In fact, it says the opposite. Both men are conscious. Lazarus is carried by the angels to Abraham's side, a place of comfort and peace. The rich man finds himself in Hades, a place of torment and deep regret. He is aware, he can feel, he can remember his life on earth, and he can even communicate. He sees Lazarus and Abraham from afar and begs for just a drop of water to cool his tongue. This story, whether you view it as a literal account or a parable, is a powerful teaching from Jesus. The message is undeniable. There is consciousness, awareness, and feeling immediately after death. One man experiences comfort, while the other experiences regret. This passage strongly suggests that the moment we close our eyes in death, we open them to a new reality, fully aware of our state and our past. The Bible also speaks of this immediate next step as a place of rest and peace for believers. One of the most moving and direct promises comes from the lips of Jesus himself. While he was on the cross, one of the thieves being crucified next to him recognized him as king and said, "Jesus, remember me when you come into your kingdom." And what was Jesus' reply? He didn't say, "You'll have to wait until the final judgment," or someday, you'll be with me. No, his answer was immediate and filled with assurance. He said, "Truly, I tell you, today you will be with me in paradise." Today, not tomorrow, not in 1,000 years. Today, this word paradise is often understood to be a beautiful, restful place where the souls of the righteous go to be with God while awaiting the final resurrection. The Apostle Paul also wrote about this. In 2 Corinthians, he says that to be away from the body is to be at home with the Lord. For the believer, death isn't a fearful leap into the unknown, but a direct transition into the presence of Jesus in a place of peace. However, it's also important to understand that this immediate state is not the final destination. The Bible also teaches very clearly that a final judgment is still to come. The book of Revelation, especially in chapter 20, describes a future time of a great resurrection where everyone who has ever lived will be raised. It speaks of a final judgment before God's great white throne, where books will be opened and each person will be judged according to what they have done. This means that the soul's journey continues beyond that initial moment of death, the state we enter immediately. Its comfort in paradise or torment and separation is an intermediate one. The full and final experience of eternity, whether in the new heavens and new earth or in the lake of fire, comes after this final judgment. So we have this immediate post-death reality and then a future ultimate consummation of all things. The story doesn't end right after we die. It's just the beginning of the next chapter. So let's put all the pieces together. What happens the very moment after you die? Based on what we've seen in the Bible, we can draw a few key conclusions. First, the body rests. It returns to the dust from which it came, awaiting a future resurrection. Second, the soul, the real you, remains conscious. You don't enter a state of sleep or non-existence. You are aware. Third, each person immediately experiences a state of either comfort in God's presence, often called paradise, or a state of separation and regret.